First of all, thank you very much for this timely attention giving to this particular bill, to both chairman and to the committee for taking the time to do this in our very busy schedules. As the former chair of the Gaming Oversight Committee last session, this has been an issue that has been paramount with me. I say timely now, as I have moved on to another committee. It holds my interest greatly. Timely now because we are in discussions about expanded venues. When we do that, and of course, as the chairman mentioned, the Gaming Act was passed back in 2005, and we've learned to utilize and count on those revenues. So obviously, we're going to be looking at those routinely and how we can maximize. But I have to say that I'm honored to be here with these folks here today, having served with them and having worked with them on this particular issue, which could be and probably will be exacerbated with any discussion of expansion. So thus, I feel it's very timely. For those on the committee, I know that you've done your homework and you've looked at the bill. My job, aside from answering any questions you have, is to tell you why I think it's necessary and a little bit in broad terms what it does. It's here because it amends Act 18, and what it's going to do is provide one step more to help people who find themselves caught up in the cycle of compulsive or addictive gambling, and there are quite a number. It will give the courts an opportunity, outside of the current law, and in addition to provide for an evaluation and potentially recommendations for counseling or treatment. Folks can voluntarily use this resource that's available through the Gaming Control Act to put themselves voluntarily on a self-exclusion list in the casinos across Pennsylvania. That list is copiously kept. But for those folks who deal with this challenge on a daily basis, the temptation is great to violate and enter one of our casinos. And at that point, they are currently charged with trespassing and the venue of charges that can be made under the trespassing laws. Nothing goes beyond that to help them potentially, if they're reviolating, getting the help they need. So the point of the bill is very common sense in allowing the courts to go one step further and make the determination of whether counseling evaluation is necessary and in their benefit. Chairman Petrarca mentioned the numbers. They're staggering. The latest numbers I have, and these folks maybe have additional ones, but from the records in 2014, there were 7,162 people on this self-exclusion list that they, or with family support, have encouraged them to place themselves on that list. We do not know how many were not, witnessed or observed violating, that there was at least on the list 1,565 that are known violators. So in the discussion today, I hope we hear more about what the next step is we can take via our courts to get people the counseling and the help that they absolutely are going to need. And again, I go back to its timeliness and thank the committee. And again, I'm honored to sit here. If you're not going to kick me out, I'd love to participate in what you hear this morning.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.